Chloe, did the package I arranged to be delivered to your place come yet?
Yep, it just got here. Thanks for all this fresh seafood. It looks delish.
Let me make one thing clear, young lady. None of that stuff is for you. It's for my amazing son, because he's family.
I know that.
Make sure you rustle up something tasty with it for him. Don't go using any cheap ingredients either. Everything I send is of the highest quality. I only sent enough for one person, which means you won't be getting any.
Okay. He can have it all to himself. Don't worry.
I'm glad you understand. I hope you don't think I'm being too hard on you, dear. It's just that we never know when you'll disappear, what with you being a stranger and all.
Bernadine, the vows I took on our wedding day are for life. I don't exactly plan on going anywhere.
Still, you've only been married 3 years. It's early days, and who knows what tomorrow might bring.
I guess. But things are going great between me and Jeremy.
My cousin Selena announced she was pregnant at my dad's wake the other day. Her and her husband Steve had only been married a year. Why can they do it, but you and Jeremy can't? Is it so hard to get pregnant? You do know how, don't you?
Jesus, Bernadine, what do you take us for? Of course we know how. Look, every couple's different. And some people like to wait a little longer before making such a huge decision. It's not that we don't want to. We just want to enjoy our personal time for now.
Do you really think that you have the luxury at your ripe old age? You'll hit the menopause before you know it with complacency like that. How are you going to grow any crops in a barren wasteland?
I prefer if you didn't say things like that.
Why on earth not? It's only because I'm worried about you.
I see. Listen, Bernadine. Sorry to change the subject, but I wanted to talk to you about the wake. I'd really appreciate it if you could let me know earlier next time there's something big like that going on.
Huh? Why?
It really took me off guard when Jeremy messaged me while I was at work, asking if I could book it off on short notice. I need more time to prepare for things like that.
What's the problem? Jeremy made it in the end, didn't he? You're the one who didn't show up. What were you thinking agreeing to work on a day like that?
But I did book the day of the funeral off.
Did I say the wake would be on the same day as the funeral? No. You shouldn't jump to conclusions.
It kind of feels like you hid it from us. It's not that strange to assume that the wake would be on the day of the funeral. I had no idea it'd be the day before. And neither did Jeremy. How are we supposed to know what's going on if you don't tell us? I'm just asking you to communicate a little more is all.
Oopsie! I just forgot to tell you all, dear. Why so mistrustful? You act like I did it on purpose. Paranoia is unhealthy, you know? Anyway, what does it matter if you weren't at the wake? You're just some stranger who happened to marry my son. It's not like we're blood related. What do I care if you pay your respects to my dad?
Sure, we might not be blood related, but still.
Then that's the end of it. I won't hear another word of your grumbling, young lady. It makes no difference to us whether you're around or not. I suggest you take a long, hard think about your position in this family. Know your place, girl. Don't think you have the right to take part in on family gatherings anymore either. You had the privilege, but you lost it when you threw it back in our faces by not showing up. Hello, Chloe. Can you tell my son to make sure he's available on the 1st of next month?
Got it. Will do. Is that for Craig's piano performance?
Huh? You knew?
Yeah. Chrissy told me. You know how proud she is of him. She said everyone was going for a meal afterwards and asked if I wanted to tag along.
What the devil? She invited you?
Yes?
Goodness gracious me. I hope you don't actually think you're going.
Huh? What do you mean?
I mean, we want to spend time together as a family. No outsiders. A stranger like you tagging along would only ruin the atmosphere and make everyone feel uncomfortable.
Do the right thing and decline the invitation. That's kind of difficult now. I already told her I'd go.
Then tell her you got a cold or feel under the weather or something. Just use your damn brain for once. You can tell her you stubbed your toe for all I care. The bottom line is you're not going.
Sorry. Chrissy invited me, and I said I'll go. So I'm going. If you're the one who organized it, of course I respect your wishes. But you're not, so yeah.
I see how it is. You want to ruin our precious family time, don't you?
I really don't. Besides, if I'm not family, then surely Chrissy isn't either. She's your daughter-in-law, just like me. If I'm a stranger as Jeremy's wife, then surely she is as his brother's.
Unlike you, she's a good wife who fulfills her womanly responsibilities to this family. Unlike you, she gave me a grandchild. Don't get me wrong, she doesn't have my full approval just yet. But she's on the right track. She contributed more to this family in 1 year than you did in 3.
So I'll never win your approval until I have kids? Am I totally worthless in your eyes then?
Exactly. If you want us to treat you like family, then you need to do your job as my son's wife and prove your commitment to us. Aha! There might be another way. If you're so serious about proving yourself to me, you'll let me move in with you and Jeremy.
What? You want to move in with us?
I hate to admit it, but I'm no spring chicken anymore, and I'm not as quick on my feet as I used to be. If you want me to acknowledge you as a member of this family, letting me move in with you is the quickest way. You should be grateful I'm offering you a shortcut. Don't dawdle, though. There's always Craig, so be careful. If you snooze, you might just lose. In fact, I've already discussed it with him and Chrissy. I doubt it'll be long before they say yes. Let's face it, who wouldn't want me living with them? I'm a ray of sunshine.
I'm pretty sure I told you this before, but me and Jeremy have no plans to have either of our parents move in with us. Obviously, we'll always be there to support you when you need us.
I see. So you're refusing your own mother-in-law?
Sorry.
It's fine. I'm glad I know where we stand now. Looks like you are a stranger after all. Don't worry about it. I know exactly how committed you are to this family now. To think you treat my kind, once-in-a-lifetime offer with such disdain.
It's really not like that, but we have to draw the line at shared living. If there's anything else I can do for you, let me know and I'll do my best.
Ooh, don't mind if I do. In that case, I have a job for you. I want you to clear out my garden shed. Surely you can at least do something as simple as that.
Of course, no problem.
Fantastic. I want you to come to my house next Sunday around noon is fine. Even if you did start first thing, you never get it all done in a day. There's years worth of stuff in there. I'm happy for you to start out with a few hours to begin with.
Sunday afternoon? Got it. See you next weekend.
Great. See you then. Oh, and I hope you're not thinking of asking Jeremy to help you. We won't be having any of that. This one's on you. Make sure you come alone. The future of your relationship with this family depends on whether or not you impress me with your shed cleaning skills, young lady. I hope you take this seriously. Chloe, come to my house this instant.
Bernadine? I thought you said I was starting on the shed around noon. I'm waiting for a package from my mom this morning, so I have to be in till it gets here. But I can come over as soon as it does.
Not good enough. Forget the package and get over here.
I think it's gonna be here soon. The live map says the delivery guy's in the neighborhood already. I'm really sorry, but can you hold on just a little while longer?
Not good enough. This is an emergency, young lady. Do as you're told and get your ass over here at once. I think I've broken something. I can't stand up.
What? Where are you?
In the yard. I fell over, now I can't stand up. I tried calling Jeremy, but he won't pick up. What the hell is he doing that's more important than his injured mother?
He went to the movies with his friends this morning. I'm guessing his phone turned off.
Then there's nothing else for it. You have to come right now. Don't you care what happens to me? My leg hurts. I can't get up and I need help.
If you can't stand up, I think you should call an ambulance. Even if I leave this instant, it'll still take me about 30 minutes. An ambulance could be there in less than 10. How about I call one for you? I can give them your address and you'll be on your way to the hospital before you know it.
No! I'm covered in mud because my foot slipped into a hole. Do you really think I can ride an ambulance looking like this? I'd never live down the embarrassment. The neighbors would have a field day. They'd all be stood out on their lawns, pointing and laughing at me like the vultures they are.
What?
I'm covered in so much mud it's even seeping through my pants. I need to get changed. Why do you think I'm messaging you? Do you think I don't know ambulances exist? If I wanted one, I'd call one.
Wait a sec. Are you really at your house? I don't remember there being any holes big enough to fall into your yard. Plus, mud? There hasn't been a drop of rain in the last month.
Enough of these silly questions. Just shut up and come already. If you don't come soon, me and you are finished forever. You'll never win my approval, and you'll never be a member of this family. Is that what you want? Ow! My leg hurts. Your mother-in-law's in trouble here, damn it. Hurry up and come help me, you worthless piece of crap of a wife.
Fine. I'm on my way.
Thank the Lord. Why was it so difficult to just do as I said from the get-go? I've never met anyone so useless in my life. Is it such a surprise that you still don't have my approval? If not for your incessant complaining, you'd already be halfway here. Chloe, I have a small favor to ask you. Please, would you bring me my pajamas and a few other things? I feel so uncomfortable in this hospital gown.
Excuse me?
I feel like such a nuisance asking you to go out of your way like this for me. But not a single person came to visit me since I got admitted to the hospital. Isn't that awful? Neither of my sons are replying to my messages. You're the only person I've left to rely on, Chloe. So please, I'm begging you, won't you be a darling and look after me for a while? I know things haven't always been great between us, but this could finally be our chance to bond and get to know each other.
Huh? Who are you?
What do you mean, who? It's me, Bernadine, your husband's mother.
Forgive me, but that doesn't ring any bells. I don't know any Bernadines. And my husband doesn't have a mother.
What? What on earth are you talking about? It was just a few days ago you heroically rushed out to me and called an ambulance after I fell into that hole in the yard and hurt my leg. Don't even joke about such things. I'm lying seriously injured in a hospital bed here. I'm vulnerable as it is without being abandoned by my entire family. I'm not sure I can take being treated like this for much longer. Please don't say things like that, dear.
You deserve everything that happens to you.
Huh?
You made a freaking pitfall trap in your backyard with the aim of luring me into it. The only reason you're in the hospital is because you're such a moron you fell into your own hole. You wouldn't have hurt yourself if you didn't try to pull such an insane stunt. You wouldn't be lying in the hospital with a broken leg if you didn't dig the hole in the first place.
Well, yes, what you say may be true.
But you know what? I'm glad you did fall in. Because if you didn't, it would have been me lying in that bed. Can you give me a single good reason why I go out of my way to help someone who tried to do something like that to me?
Don't be so dramatic, dear. It was just a harmless little prank.
A harmless little prank that broke your leg clean in two and put you in the hospital? A harmless little prank with a 4-month recovery period? I shudder at the thought of what might have happened if it went like you planned. You terrify me.
Don't be silly, dear. You're young, healthy, and as fit as a fiddle. The only reason I got hurt is because I'm old and frail. I'm just not as sturdy as I used to be, that's all.
You can't say that for sure. How did you plan on taking responsibility if I got seriously hurt?
I'm sorry. I never thought this would happen. Not in a million years.
Not to you, maybe.
But Chloe, hear me out. I've had a long, hard think about my behavior, and I've made a decision. I'll never do anything horrible to you again, I promise. I learned a valuable lesson through all this. So please, won't you at least look after me while I'm here in the hospital? I might just about be able to get by on my own once I get discharged. But I'm helpless here because everyone's ignoring me.
Nope. Me and Jeremy are done with you.
Huh?
Which part don't you get? D-O-N-E! As in cutting you out of our lives forever. For eternity. For perpetuity. For the rest of time. Until heat death of the universe. Get it yet?
Oh my god, the cruelty! Why would you do such a thing? Sure, maybe I did try and lure you into a pitfall trap. But did it work? No, it was me who got hurt in the end, wasn't it? What's the harm done?
Let me get this straight. You're saying I should forgive you because you were too much of a moron to trick me?
I'm not saying you should forgive me, per se. But still, isn't cutting off all ties with me a little horrible? I can't help but feel this is disproportionate.
We planned on cutting you out of our lives before long, even if you didn't make the pitfall trap. All you did was hasten our decision.
What? Why?
You're unreal, Bernadine. Are you seriously saying you forgot about how you've been treating me all this time?
Well, if you're talking what I think you're talking about, I admit it. I may have been strict sometimes. But isn't that a mother-in-law's job? Besides, it's precisely because I wanted to acknowledge you as a member of this family so badly that I chose to use such severe discipline methods. How else were you supposed to fully understand your role and duties as my son's wife?
You never invited me to family events, and on the rare occasion I was allowed to come over to your house, you served everyone food, except me. Then when I said I didn't have any food, you told me to go pour myself a glass of water. You told me not to show up to family restaurant outings. Which part of that counts as making me understand my roles and duty as Jeremy's wife? You were harassing me, plain and simple, and you're nothing but a vicious bully. Are you telling me that if I carried on tolerating your crap, you'd have one day accepted me into the family? And we would have all lived happily ever after?
Oh, come on, Chloe. Can't we just drop this already? I said I'm sorry and promised never to do it again. Surely we can move on. I'm genuinely remorseful for what I did, dear. You have to believe me. I feel guilty about how cruelly I treated you when you were always so kind and respectful towards me.
The time for apologies passed a long time ago. It's too little too late. This changes nothing about mine and Jeremy's decision.
What do you mean when you say you're done with me? That I'll never see you again?
Exactly. We might still cross paths at weddings and funerals, but even then, we definitely won't speak to you or acknowledge you exist.
I take it that means Jeremy doesn't want his inheritance either. You should know that if you go through with this, I'll write him out of my will in a heartbeat. That goes for everything his dad left behind, too. I'll give everything to Craig instead.
That's totally fine with us. But there is one more thing you should know. I'm guessing they haven't told you, so allow me. Craig and Chrissy want you out of their lives too.
What?
You might have forgotten, but you were just as horrible to Chrissy as you were to me when the two of them first tied the knot. She probably never told you, but she absolutely hates your guts. Which naturally means Craig isn't your biggest fan either.
What? But I'm nice to her now. Besides, I don't remember doing anything that bad.
She told us the only reason she was polite to you, in spite of the fact that she despised you, was to keep the peace. Superficial politeness does not equal forgiveness.
Oh my God, that ungrateful witch. I always went out of my way to invite her to family gatherings. And I spoil my grandson rotten. This is how she repays me.
Those things don't cancel out the bullying and harassment. There's some things you don't forget. Just because you found a new target when I showed up, doesn't mean the pain you caused her disappeared.
No way. Is that why no one's visiting me in the hospital?
Exactly. That's why you need to stop pestering us and deal with your own problems from now on. We're done with you. And that means all of us.
Chloe, please. I'm so sorry. You have to understand, none of it was personal. I was just afraid of losing my precious son. I felt like something had been stolen from me, and in my mind, that was all your fault. I know it was wrong, but I wanted to see you suffer like I was, even if just a little.
Just a little? That's the understatement of the year. How many times did Jeremy warn you? How many times did he tell you to stop treating me like dirt? Not just him, but Craig too. He told you he wasn't going to carry on tolerating what you were doing to Chrissy. But it all went in one ear and out the other. Rather than backing down, you got worse. You carried on, waging your wicked campaign of abuse despite knowing full well how it would end. You deserve everything you get.
Please, Chloe, don't say things like that. I can change, I swear. And to prove it, I have an announcement to make. I hereby officially acknowledge you as my son's wife and a proud member of this family. Congratulations, dear. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Aren't you over the moon? Please, all I ask is that you don't abandon me.
Sorry, Bernadine, but would you mind telling that to your family instead? I'm just a useless stranger, so there's nothing I can do for you. Mine, Jeremy's, Chrissy's, and Craig's inboxes got flooded with desperately apologetic messages from a panicking Bernadine. But since we'd all reached our wits' ends with her a long time ago, we ignored her. Apparently, by some miracle, she managed to enlist the help of a distant relative while she was in the hospital. But realizing she probably helped her, not knowing what she'd done, we made sure to fill the entire family in on the details of her misdeeds. And before long, she didn't have a single ally left. Now, she lives on her own in total isolation in a house that no one visits. I hope she finally understands how horrible it feels to be treated by a stranger by your family. What goes around comes around, so be nice, folks. We have no intention of forgiving her, but since no one's willing to take responsibility for caring for her, when she gets older, we'll have to put her in a care home when the time comes. We're not speaking to her at all, for the time being though. I hope she has a long, hard think about behavior. I'm not holding my breath that she'll change, but hey, anything's possible. Anyway, listen up, because I have an announcement to make. Half a year after announcing the termination of relations with the mother-in-law from hell, I fell pregnant, and I'm currently living life at about twice my usual size. I get horrible morning sickness sometimes, but I take that any day over the vicious bullying I used to put up with. To tell you the truth, my stress levels are virtually non-existent, and I've never been happier. Can you imagine if I fell pregnant during the Bernadine saga? I shudder to think about what kind of stress would have done to the baby. There's no doubt about it. She would have pushed me over the edge eventually if we didn't get rid of her. I'm so relieved we did what we had to do before it came to that. It's perfectly natural to want to earn the approval of your mother-in-law. But this whole thing taught me that you should always be willing to draw the line, because no one's approval is worth sacrificing your mental health. My real family are amazing, supportive towards me. and I feel blessed to have them in my life. I always let him know how much I appreciate him.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.